Hello everyone, myself Vedant Singh Arapu. So today now I'll be showing you my mobile application project on library management system. So in this application, there I have two modules. One is library, one is for the librarian, and other is for the student. So now let's run my application. Since I have mentioned that in my application, it consists of two modules. One is librarian and one is student. So coming into the student, in this application the student will operate the below application functionalities. Like when we create account, here the student will create account by filling in the registration form details. Let's click into the register. Like the students will fill the form details, like select branch. Suppose if I select DC and select year, let's select first year, and name of the student, and let's give the student ID and student passport, something around 1 2 3 4 5, and then submit. So after giving the data, the student ID is already, it shows it already exists since I have logged in with the same details. So let's enter the student ID. Let's enter the password. Enter the login verification. Yes, now the student ID is successfully logged in. Here in this student application, like app functionality, we have search books, book lending details, issued books, return books, and suggestion. In the search book, here the student will get the number of book details by searching with the branch name. Let's go into it. By selecting the branch, easy, he can view the book names, book ID, availability, total number of books and issued books, and the branch is easy. And coming into the book lendings, here the student will check the book details like book name, book availability, and etc. by selection of book ID. Suppose let's select the book ID as 36. I show here it gives the details of the book, like total number of books 5, book issues 1, and availability year. And coming to the issued books and the return books, I will be explaining it to the later. And the suggestions, in this function, the student will send the requiring book information to the librarian, like if he want to add the number of books or anything. Now coming to the librarian functionality, here the username would be admin, password is admin. Let's log into the in this in this application functionality, add books. Here the librarian will add the book information such as branch. Let's go into it. Let's such as branch, such as book name. Let's give mobile application, and here book ID as 44, and total number of books, let's give 8. So here the book added successfully. So now coming into the delete books. In this function, the library will delete the books based on the branch and book ID, as well as the librarian update the book details also. Like when we delete, we cannot search the book since we have deleted. So let's get the EC. Let's give this book number as 44 since we have added the same book. So let's delete the same book. So the book was deleted successfully. Now in the issued books, the librarian will issue the books to the students by selecting the branch and student roll number and entering book details like issue date and return date. Let's give the branch as ECE, and let's enter the student as ST1, my student ID, and let's give the book number as 36, and let's give the issue date as today and the return date on is will let's give today, and let's select issue book. So in this, the library will issue the books like by selecting as we selecting by the branch and student ID and proper date. So the book was issued successfully. Now coming into the return books, in this the librarian will get the list of issued book details by selecting by a selection of student by roll numbers. Then librarian will update the recent return book details by the selection of book ID. Suppose let's give the book ID as 36 view. Student ID, oh sorry, need to enter the student ID. Since I have taken the book by taken the book as 36, so I had uh, in this there is a return book, and then now in the book list, coming to the book list functionality. In this function, the librarian will get the list of book details by selecting the branch name as ECA. Since I have entered with this, now there is a book list. So now in the search user here, the librarian will search the issued books and return book details by the selection of student roll number or student ID. Since I have taken the book, it gives the book details of everything. And since the return book is today, since we cannot see the return books, and that's it. This is the application of my project library management system. And let's again log in into the student login. Let's go the password 1245. Now here let's check the issued books. Since I have borrowed the book from the librarian, and since I haven't returned the book, so there is no records found. And so let's give the coming into the suggestions. In this function, the student will send the requiring book information to the librarian, like suggestions like he want any books like mobile application. So by giving the suggestions, let's check into the librarian again. Since I have updated the need of mobile application books in the suggestion for the librarian, it shows the suggestions by required by the students or required by the students. So this is my app functionality of librarian and student. These two modules are necessary in my project library management system. Thank you.